Well, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. This is Charlotte Bergman, your host for Political Talk with Charlotte. This has been a very eventful election season, month, week. Great things are happening in our nation. God is smiling upon us because we are doing the right things. Many of us are definitely praying, and we're seeing the rewards of our efforts. So thank you for joining me. Sit back, enjoy the show, and if you feel so inclined, why don't you just share the show? Share the show with your friends. I am Charlotte Bergman, a conservative voice for Christian and constitutional values. Those two go together. We can't have one without the other. And in today's show, I'm going to talk about a number of topics. We're going to, after I discuss a few topics, we're going to go live to the interview that is occurring on Capitol Hill. Hi, Cindy. Thank you for joining me via Rumble. I appreciate that. I appreciate my friends. I have the greatest friends, you guys. You would not understand how appreciative I am of my friends. They actually make the show and encourages me to get the news out. But I just want to share with you my excitement. My excitement, first of all, for being with you guys today, and my excitement for what is happening in our country. Our show airs every Thursday at noon. And if you look in the description box, you will see ways to contact me via email, via Facebook, via Bitchute, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. There are all types of ways to contact me. We have the largest number of viewers on Facebook. I look forward to that same amount of growth on YouTube and Rumble. And that's going to happen with your help. So if you're listening to me, watching me on Rumble, please share the show on your Rumble page so that others will see it. You have no idea how much I love you, how much I appreciate you, and I appreciate your involvement. So in the interim, sit back, send an emoji, send a how the heck you're doing, Charlotte comment, or maybe comment on something I'm discussing. What that does is it helps to break the shadow banning that I'm under. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much shadow banning I am under. You have no idea, but we're going to get around the shadow banning with your help. Just want to remind people my book, The Last Trumpet in the Battle for America, and it's just specifically for those people who are still thinking slavery rules their life and has ruined their life. So sit back, get your popcorn, your Kool-Aid, and enjoy the show. We're going to talk about this great booming economy. We're going to start out with a little short video, and he's going to discuss how great things are in our nation.
My God, we just got a report from the Fed Atlanta.
That is Steve Moore. He is an economist. Look at the Dow futures. This was recorded earlier. I mean, we're almost at 50,000 on the Dow. I think we were around 30 something when Trump took over a year ago. So we're knocking on the door of 50,000. If you've been investing good, you are making some money. So let's hear what Steve has to say.
Bank that says we grew at 5.3% in the fourth quarter. This is an absolutely booming economy right now.
You hear what he said? This is a booming economy. That means people are about to get jobs. People are about to be able to take care of their families. And you couldn't really ask for very much more than that, especially after what we've come through. Because that same report. We didn't have that same report when Biden was in office. So anyway, I'm excited to be able to share that with you guys. This economy is booming, and don't let the Democrats try to dissuade you to make you think it is not happening, because it is happening. The U.S. economy designated expectations. The GDP soared to a blistering 5.3% annualized growth by the fourth quarter 2025. Experts, man, they're bewildered at Trump's booming economy. They're going, how did that happen? This economy is just not strong. It's an economic explosion under Trump, outpacing even China's. We're outpacing China. We're at 3.5%. They're only at 4.5%. And I'll tell you what, between you and I, it's going to get worse and worse for them. I kid you not. It's going to get worse and worse for them. One of the things that is happening, and people don't understand how great things are in our nation, is because of that message that they get all the time. And I want to bring this to your attention because it is something that's keeping people behind. And you need to be aware of this, and which many of you are already aware that this is the reason why so many people sit back and they vote against their own values, against their own livelihood, against the success of their children and our community. And what is it? There it is, guys. Racism would die in America once race-baiting Democrats stop using it as a political weapon. I don't know if you saw that. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. Am I still on? I think I knocked myself out. Help. I can't find myself. I can't find myself. Okay. I must still be on, but I'm on somewhere, but I can't find myself. I'm not in control of my channel any longer. I've got so many screens open. Okay, there, I found myself. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cindy, for letting me know I was still on. Oh, I got lost in all of the screens that I had open. And I wouldn't have known if I hadn't opened another screen. Thank you. I appreciate you seeing me. Cindy, you're the best. Okay, so let's move on to my next topic, because this is going to get really wild. I have lost all of my screens. This is crazy. I guess I'm not supposed to be bringing this news to you, but that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. Before I go further, I want to show you guys what was brought up the other day on Channel 5 in Memphis. There was a picture that was posted. There it is, guys. There was a picture that was posted about the candidates for the United States Congress running in the Tennessee 9th Congressional District. Can you see that well? I hope you can. First, we have a Devontae Hill. From what I understand, This guy is a leader of Black Lives Matter. He actually was instrumental in leading the effort to shut down the bridge in Tennessee, in Memphis, Tennessee, to stop traffic. He's kind of like the protesters in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's running for Congress. Is that who you want to represent you? If he goes to Washington, D.C., he will not have a seat at the table. He will only be an obstructionist. He will only be someone that would do in Washington, D.C., what Justin Pearson is doing in the State House, trying to obstruct. Next is Representative Justin J. Pearson. He is an obstructionist, but not only is he an obstructionist, the guy is violent. Yes, he's violent, and he does not care where he shows his violence. You see, his brother committed suicide, and I am so sorry about that. I really am. The tool that his brother used was a gun. This was something that Representative Pearson spoke out against, the use of guns. Yet his own brother chose to use a gun to end his own life. And Representative Pearson, understandably, didn't go to work, didn't go in to cast votes for major issues that were being discussed. So what happened? Representative Farmer decided to bring that up. Representative Pearson decided to take matters into his own hands to attack Representative Farmer in the State House Assembly. No control, no decorum. And Steve Cohen wants to go back. Well, man, Steve Cohen is a relic of Joe Biden. You send him back, you're going to send Joe Biden's administration back. He's a do-nothing congressman. Everybody knows it. What I don't understand is, as I go into the community and I talk to people about Steve Cohen, if I talk to 10 people, only one would stand up adamantly to support Steve Cohen. One. Most hold their noses. Most get this crinkle in their faces. They're disgusted by this man, not just because he chose to bring a chicken into the U.S. House committee meeting. No, it's because they know he doesn't care about them. He even stopped campaigning. Now, these two people who are running against him, Devontae Hill and Justin Pearson, they actually were young men who were his proteges. I mean, they actually work for him. They know him better than anybody, yet they decide that he's not doing what the people in the community wants him to do. And so they have decided to run against him. Now, Charlotte Bergman, that would be moi. That would be me. I am your MAGA candidate. I am the candidate that is supporting prosperity in this community. I am the candidate that's going to carry on the successful economic growth in our community. I'm going to make sure that the jobs are available. Many of you, especially those of you who have children, who you put through school, who you love very much, and once they graduate, they're going on to another city, another state. Why? Because they can't get jobs here. So therefore, you lose out on your family. Not because they want to go, but they need to survive. And then you raise them to be independent. Well, Hill, Pearson, Cohen are not your people that are going to help to make this community better. They've already been fighting against progress, economic development already. So why would you send them to Washington, D.C. to disrupt things? Because you send them to Washington, D.C. to disrupt things, you won't receive any benefits in this community. And we need all the benefits that we can get. So I just want to tell you that this is Congressman Steve Cohen's District 9 seat, according to Channel 5. But in actuality, this is the people in the 9th district seat. And you guys decide who you want to send. Okay, I just wanted to discuss that. Now, my next topic is the election fraud itself. And President Trump did put out a comment about it. And I'm going to read it to you. Or maybe I can bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up for you. I can't believe this. Because I don't want you to think these are my words. These are the words of the president. And he probably posted them while he was still in Davos. And yes, he's over there fighting for us. And I don't know about you, but I'm happy that he's doing that. Okay, you can see the words. He says the fake and fraudulent polling, and this is fake and fraudulent polling that is coming from the media, virtually is a criminal offense. As an example, all of the anti-Trump media that covered me during the 2020 election showed polls that were knowingly wrong. They posted incorrect totals to prepare you for the fraud that was about to occur. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to influence the election, but I won in a landslide. He did win. There are numbers out there, and I'm going to post them on my page. He won in Georgia. Come to find out that there were votes that were counted illegally. And there are other states that I'm going to bring to your attention that he won. He won in 2020. So when you see those hats, most people probably don't pay any attention to them, but it says 45-47. They wouldn't give him 46, but he really was the 46th president. It's just that Biden was the face of what you saw, but Trump was the commander in chief. Okay, so getting back to reading what I was reading. The media knew what they were doing, trying to influence the election, but I won in a landslide, including winning the popular vote. All 7 of the 7 swing states, he won those. The Electoral College was a rout, and 272,570 counties to 525. You can't do much better than that. And yet, if people examine the failing New York Times, the ABC fake news, NBC fake news, CBS fake news, low rating CNN, or the now defunct MSDNC, which is now MS Now, polls were all fraudulent and bore nothing even close to the final results. Something has to be done about fraudulent polling. Even the polls of Fox News and the Wall Street Journal have been, over the years, terrible. There are great posters that call the election night right, but the media does not want to use them in any way, shape, or form. Isn't it sad what has happened to America journalism? But I'm going to do everything possible to keep this poll scam from moving forward. There is talk that he's planning, they're talking about the SAVE Act, okay? And they're talking about, right now it's stalled in the Senate, but they want to make sure that people who go vote have valid ID. They want to make sure that mail-in ballots don't come in days and days after election day, because those have been scams that they are using. But what I want to scream and holler to the president, which I'm concerned about in Shelby County, Tennessee, the 9th Congressional District, we need to make sure that we look at that voter list. We want to make sure that the most current voter list is available on election night, and that there are not extra votes that can be supplemented to make sure one candidate wins over the next. I'm sure many of you probably can agree with me on that. Now, let's go ahead, if they're still talking, and get to Jack Smith's testimony. If that's still occurring, let's get to it, because Jack Smith, he's a weasel in my mind, and he's a liar. And there is a Democrat that is talking, but we're going to listen to even that Democrat, because hopefully, yes, we will have time to listen to a Republican also, so that you can get a balance of how people are feeling about Jack Smith, the big crook that he is, and he is a crook. So let's turn the volume up.
To defend the Constitution. I'm happy to give you an opportunity, Mr. Smith, if you'd like to respond.
I don't have anything to add.
Thank you for your service. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
Jack
The
doesn't
gentleman
have
from
anything to
Wisconsin
say.
recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In 2010, Mr. Smith, did you work for the President Obama's Department of Justice?
Yes, in 2010, I was the chief of the Public Integrity Section.
During that time, did you have any contact or connection with Lois Lerner with the Obama IRS?
Yes, I was new to the Public Integrity Section. I was the chief. I was trying to learn about issues I had not been at.
Did you attempt to work with Lois Lerner and the IRS to investigate nonprofits?
What I did was I asked for a meeting with the IRS about nonprofits.
So the simple answer is yes.
Well,
correct.
I didn't ask to work with Ms. Lerner. They sent Ms. Lerner. That's the person who came to this meeting. I met her once.
And they went after Second Amendment, correct? If you remember, correct, that's what was the offshoot of it, that tried to gain nonprofit status. They were slow rolled through the IRS. Do you recall that?
Separate from this, there was an investigation of that that I was a part of in public integrity.
Did you, you prosecuted Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell. This was asked earlier. You prosecuted him, correct?
I was part of the prosecution, yes.
And that ended up with that decision ended up being unanimously overturned by the Supreme Court, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah, including Justice Ginsburg joined in on that opinion, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. You also prosecuted John Edwards and Bob Menendez, and those both ended in mistrials. Is that right?
I'm just looking on Facebook. Apparently my show, which was actually sent to them to be viewed, is not showing on Facebook. Probably because of the words voter fraud. That's censorship. So after this show is over, I am going to post it on Facebook for those of you who actually missed the live show.
The John Edwards case did. The Menendez case, I had left the Public Integrity Section by the time that case was tried. I wasn't.
So, Mr. Chairman, what we heard from the other side here is that this gentleman is the gold standard for prosecution here in the United States. So think about it. We had a witch hunt done by the IRS going after Second Amendment groups, unanimously overturned by the Supreme Court. Prosecuted two prominent political figures, and they ended up as mistrials. That's the gold standard here in America. I would just say this, Mr. Chairman. If Mr. Smith ever works for the Department of Justice again, I would recommend a remedial course on the First Amendment to the Constitution. Before I yield the rest of my time, Mr. Smith, I just have one other question. Is there any historical precedent for an alternate slate of electors to be sent to Congress? Has that ever happened before?
That had happened, not anything similar to this situation, but you're correct. It was in Hawaii. I think it was Hawaii in, I want to say the 1960 election.
So it has happened before that there was an alternate slate of electors that was sent to Congress, which does the electoral count, correct?
There was a prior time that an electoral slate was sent where there was litigation and recounts going on.
Actually, there's twice that it happened, Mr. Chairman. It happened in 1876 and 1960 that these alternate electors happened. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to introduce the 1960 Hawaii case.
Object.
Here. With that, I yield to the chairman.
I appreciate the gentleman yielding. The gentleman from Colorado talked about noise from this side. It's not noise, it's facts. The fact is, you approved a $20,000 payment to a confidential human source, and I think you said earlier, the reason this individual or entity or person was paid was to review photo and video. Why'd they have to be confidential? Why didn't you just contract with them?
My understanding is that this person was a confidential human source with the FBI. I do not know why they were confidential, but it would make sense to me, given that this person was assisting.
Well, confidential just raises the question of what were you trying to hide? Why not tell us? We know you hid the fact that you were getting phone records from members of Congress. We want to know why this payment had to be hidden. Why couldn't you just contract? Which would be the customary normal way, I think, of doing it.
I did not make the determination that this source would be confidential, but that this person was working on an investigation involving attacks on the Capitol, and given the violence in that, it makes complete sense to me that the Bureau would...
You know of any of the other special counsels who approved payments to like, I don't remember Robert Mueller approving payments to confidential human sources. I don't remember Durham. I don't remember her. We brought all those guys in front of the committee. It's the first time I've ever heard of a special counsel having to pay secret money to someone to get information when you had the broadest subpoena power you could possibly have. You aware of any of the other special counsels who had to do this?
I am not aware whether confidential sources were or were not used in those investigations.
That's because I don't think they were. I don't think they were.
I'm not aware one way or the other. I can say that the use of confidential human sources is a standard thing done by the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
The time of the gentleman from Wisconsin has expired. I now yield to the gentlelady from Georgia for 5 minutes, Ms. McBath.
Thank you, Chairman. And Mr. Smith, thank you for appearing today to speak publicly about the major issues.
Okay. I don't want to hear any lies. Don't want to hear any propaganda. I did check after I announced to you that my show was not being aired on Facebook, and all of a sudden, poof, it's out there. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you will take time out to listen to the end of Jack Smith's interview. The guy's a crook, and what he wanted to do single-handedly, remember, 77 to 80 million people voted for President Trump in 2024. In 2024. Jack Smith wanted to be the hero and just knock him out just like that without giving you an opportunity to vote for him using lawfare. Okay. Some reason my alarm is going off. I have a friend in Vermont who says situations like this are really, really SIs. Now I'll let you figure that out. But anyway, Jack Smith wanted to, by his lone self, of course, that was with the Democrats supporting him, to prevent you from voting for President Trump. And it didn't happen, guys. And I thank God for intervening. And it was only God that kept what they attempted to do to keep you from voting for the President of the United States to help us to see this great economy. And guys, it's going to get better and better and better. And once you start putting money in your pocket, especially when you file your income taxes, your documents should be in by now, or at least by next week. File those income taxes and get your money back and get some money in your pocket. Take care of your children, take care of your loved ones, help them to not be dissuaded from believing who they really are. Hi, John. Thank you for joining me today. I see you are able to join me. Apparently, Facebook finally let my show air, and I appreciate that. What did they say? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Anyway, you guys take care. I love you so much. This is Charlotte Bergman coming to you from the great state of Tennessee with the truth. Not with any propaganda, but with the truth. And I'll tell you what, the truth will set you free. Thanks. Boy, I can't find what I'm looking for. Okay. Bye. Oh, somebody else said something before I go. Noni, I will stay safe. I will stay safe, and you guys are going to be able to send me to Washington, D.C. to represent you, because if you missed the beginning of the show when I expounded on my opposition, it's going to be worth making sure that those guys do not go to Washington, D.C. to represent us, because Memphis is better than that. Okay? So you take care, and I appreciate you. Bye.